I'm Barry.
And I'm Chris. Today we're talking about false flags. False flags, for those of you who don't know, are the contemporary term describes covert operations that are designed to deceive in such a way that the operation appear as though they are being carried out by entities, groups, or nations other than those who actually planned and execute them.
So, in layman's terms, it's fake crap. Or stuff manipulated by your own government to create fear within its own people, but made it sound like it's somebody else to create false
examples. Nero burning down Rome. Now, there's a huge fire in Rome that was...
Is this recent, or is this like ancient times?
Ancient.
Okay.
This is one of the first examples of a false flag. In ancient Rome, Nero was said to have burnt down Rome because he wanted prime real estate to build his palace. Now, history says otherwise. The fire may not have been started by him, but he used the opportunity to blame Christians and wage a war against Christianity. And he did actually build his palace where he wanted to, but, this is the one where, he's playing a violin while Rome is burning. Don't know if you've heard that. No? Okay. So that is a ancient one. Now, we'll just jump ahead to World War II.
Let's get more present, yeah.
We'll jump ahead to World War II. Now, in World War II, there was a whole bunch of false flags. Now, a lot of them are actual documented historical cases by some people who were involved, and by classified documents later on. So, in World War II, all countries took part in false flags. All countries. America, British, Germany, Russia, Japan.
Of course it is. Isn't that like another name for propaganda?
No. This is... Okay. So, in 1933, before the Nazis actually came into full power, there was a fire at the German Parliament building. The Nazi Party blamed the communists for the fire. During the Nuremberg trials, it was actually stated by Nazi officers that it was done by members of the Nazi Party to get them elected so they could take over Germany, which it pretty much did. Russia shelled a Russian village, blamed Finland, and it was the start of the Winter War. This was in 1938. Russia attacked Finland because of this attack on Russian soil, so Russia could actually gain some territory. Again, false flag. One government making it look like another government did it so they could start a war. Stalin having secret police kill 22,000 people in 1940 and blaming the Nazis in Poland. Nazis falsifying an attack on German soil and blamed it on the Polish to invade Poland. The Manchurian incident, it was the Japanese setting a bomb off and blaming it on the Chinese so they can justify their invasion and setting up of a puppet empire in China. This one's more along the line of a conspiracy theory, but the U.S. letting Japan bomb Pearl Harbor so they can get involved in the war. The U.S. letting a convoy of ships being sunk, let it be sunk by German U-boats, so again they can get into the war against Germany. So those are just World War II.
Let's fast forward to probably one of the most recent ones that could be considered a false flag, conspiracy theory. You could probably almost put those together in the same.
That's what false flags and conspiracy theories.
Go check out our conspiracy theory episode. We did one on a bunch of those. 9/11 could be considered a false flag because it could have been. There are thoughts that it was carried out by the U.S. government and blamed on the Middle East people.
Osama bin Laden.
I don't even know
Al-Qaeda.
I don't even know the hell Al Qaeda. Whatever. Okay,
It was blamed on Al Qaeda.
Blamed it on
That
somebody.
was the justification for invading
The wars that
Afghanistan,
continue.
and then shortly thereafter Iraq. So it was one of those things of false flags. Do they happen? Well, during the Cold War, yeah, they did. There was many regime change from both sides, the U.S. and Russia. Russia changed regime, so they were more friendly to the communists. The U.S. Changed regime, so they weren't as friendly to the Russians. Nowadays, people are saying false flags are going on because there's been stuff that happens just before big world meetings like the G7, the G20 summit, climate change stuff. It's happened in Italy, London, Quebec. It's happened. We know whether or not these things actually do happen. It's just hearsay because some people are saying, oh yeah, I was involved, we had to do this and that. It's like, well, can you take the credibility of these people seriously? During the Nuremberg trials, when German officers were under trial, they said, this is what we did. They're just confessing their sins at that point in time. Some of these people, there's alternative motives. So, we try to make your government look bad because Americans do it all the time to themselves.
Well, what's the biggest thing that comes out of something like that is fear, right? And and fear gives you a lot more control over things. So if your country is in fear of another group of people or another country, you're going to be more okay with your government attacking them. And it's like, for how long now has there been some sort of conflict? Because we won't call them wars, because you need to have a declaration of war through certain paths, and then it's a whole different complicated thing. But we've had conflicts for 25 years now, or something like that.
Yeah,
probably
close.
From like
Kuwait,
from Iraq, Saddam Hussein type thing.
Yeah, from there.
Gulf War.
The two Gulf Wars, and then now it's the war on terrorism,
but
which isn't a full-out war.
No, it's
the war against.
I bet you if you looked
ISIS.
legally, it'd be a conflict. I bet you if you looked in documents, it would be considered a conflict. Right?
Conflict,
because like I said, the declaration of war is a bigger thing.
No, definitely.
Because I'm sure back they said something about the declaration of war in World War II, probably that you can't declare war as easy anymore. I don't even know.
Well, the Geneva Convention has changed certain things. Is that
whatever? One of them pieces of paper that has a whole bunch of crap on it that says all that stuff. But that's what it does. It creates fear, and you can see it because there's hate towards certain religions, certain races, because of this.
Well, okay. The reason why I brought this one up is, and I'll try to leave a link for this below, is that there was a video that was taken. How the story behind it isn't quite known, but it was a car bombing. Okay, so the car bombing, a guy walks over to a car, basically lights a fuse, drives away. A fuse, the car goes boom. And all of a sudden, all these people start running over, and it's like, okay, they're coming to investigate. No, they start lying down on the ground. And then a couple of people stay standing up and start yelling and waving their hands, and it made it to look like it was the after effect of a car explosion. And this took it is low quality camera work. Like, my gosh,
this is the thing that confuses me about stuff like that. When somebody gets an event like that on camera, it's always the shittiest camera. Mm-hmm. Always the worst pixelation. Always very. It's
always like somebody has. Well, I have an iPhone 7, and all of a sudden they pull up
I'm gonna pull
from 1980 and start recording video. And it's just like,
because I know when I take videos on my phone, they turn out pretty good. Like, now I'm not taking a video of a car bombing or an explosion or a gunfight or anything like that. But anything that would be, I don't know, like of importance is very hard to decipher. You know what I mean? The quality of audio is low, and you're going, what? So it does make you question. Obviously, it does, but don't question too much, because then you might have the FBI. Do we have an FBI in Canada?
CSIS.
CSIS, okay.
CSIS is in charge of intelligence. So they
They're
have
like the CIA.
No. They are the CIA and FBI actually combined.
Oh, okay.
The RCMP. The RCMP is more akin to the FBI. Akin.
Yeah.
But the CSIS has worldwide jurisdiction and Canada jurisdiction. So they tend to work with the RCMP to go arrest people, but they can do stuff whereas in
So they're the ones listening to your phone calls.
Yeah.
About buying milk, reading your text messages about buying milk.
No, it's the
cat
NSA.
food,
It's the NSA.
stuff like that. If you're reading mine, you're not getting much. That's for sure.
No.
You know, there ain't no false flags over here in my world.
So it was just interesting. I watched the video, and then I've had conversations with some of the guys at work, and one guy's always adamant about how 9/11 was an inside job or a false flag, and because look at what happened after 9/11. All of the states gathered behind this grand crusade to get rid of these terrorists, to get rid of Al Qaeda.
I just wonder, like, my thought behind that is okay, so you have this big 9/11, and then everybody goes and attacks war on terror. Okay, if you're fighting a big enough entity to perform a task like that, how come no other big devastating loss of lives have happened on American soil? More. It's been 20 years, or 9/11, it's been, 15 years?
Yeah.
15 years, and there hasn't been one single incident like that again of mass loss of life. You know what I mean? There's been stuff in Europe. There's been shootings, and it's been what was the biggest one? There was 3,000 people, 3,500 people who died in 9/11 or something like that. I don't even know. And the biggest one since then has been 600-700.
No.
In a shooting or something like that.
120 some.
Oh, I'm thinking of Paris, right? That's been the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even what I think.
No, very,
it's not
very,
even as high as that, right? It's like a couple hundred people.
Okay,
I'm not downplaying the death of people, guys. Okay, I'm not.
It's hard to compare because one, before 9/11, nobody ever thought you could hijack a plane and do what they had done with it. Okay, fine. Nowadays, it's that much harder to hijack a plane. So they made it so it's
but not even in that aspect. These terror groups have ballistic missiles, do they not? They have the capabilities of destroying stuff like that, shooting down an aircraft. How come that you don't?
It's happened.
It's happened, yeah. But you would think that if you were at war with a true enemy, they would be doing a lot more of that kind of thing. Would you not? And that's why, you know what I mean? They would be trying to attack more over on their soil.
Getting a ballistic missile like that into a place to be able to use it,
it'd be hard,
very difficult. Now,
but you would think, like, okay, I'm thinking very, bad, like terrorists, like, there's a lot of sporting events, right? How come somebody hasn't tried to blow up the Super Bowl? I know there's probably a lot of security, but I'm sure that it could happen.
Building a bomb is very difficult.
I wouldn't know. So
okay, the Boston bombing, the marathon one, they used pressure cookers.
Yeah,
getting the material to be able to build a big enough bomb to do something serious is actually really difficult.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these, the ingredients for bombs are on nation watch lists. So if all of a sudden a person is buying ingredient A, B, C, D, it comes up as a flag amongst intelligence agencies.
Yeah, but if you have 100 people buying small micro amounts of it that are...
But that's the thing, is, a lot of these ones you can't get. Unless you...
Like, that's the thing, okay. Like, I get that there's measures in place, but like I said, back to my point about... It's just weird that there hasn't been a more massive loss of life event since 9/11 if you're against a big terror cell that... Because really, when you put it in perspective, okay, losing 200 people in an event is really... It's nothing. I'm just going to say it like that. Because really, it's a small speck of life in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? How many people die in a day regularly without a loss of life like that?
Yeah.
How many people die regularly? It's, what is it? Somebody dies every 10 seconds or something like that? Something weird like that? So really, when you think about it, it's 6 people every minute. You know what I mean? So it's like... So when you...
It adds up.
makes,
so you can easily lose 200 people a day just through attrition, through old age, car accidents, whatever. You could take a statistic and pretty much go, there's 200 people a day. So I get it. And you're right. Why hasn't there been bigger terror
that's where
attacks?
it throws the flags up. It makes you go, maybe... And I'm talking just on like North American soil. I know every day there's bombings and stuff like that in Syria and stuff like that. But that's what I mean. If you're against a group like that you're using that much force on, how come they haven't?
Well, okay.
They don't have fighter jets.
Hold on. And don't forget, most of these terror attacks tend to end with a person dead. So you have to be pretty committed to doing something like that. It's not like in Iraq, they can just leave a bomb on the side of the road, have somebody drive over it, because they have access to weapons and weapons-grade explosives. In North America, you don't have easy access to weapons-grade explosives. And most of these people end up dead.
But are we not, as a society... tricked into thinking that every person in this terror cell is willing to go that length and is trying to come over here and do that? In a sense?
Maybe. Because, for the most part, they do. They end up dead.
Yeah, no, I know. Definitely. It's a
a terror cell, for example, if like Russia had invaded Canada and taken over, how willingly are you willing to die? Most people aren't willing to die. So... to commit to an attack pretty much means you're going to die. And a lot of people aren't as willing to die as...
And that's the whole thing behind, I think, false flags and stuff like that, is that it makes you... To me, it makes me question and go... I think it could be true. Like, it could be 100% true that some of these events are performed to keep you in fear, to keep society, to keep us in fear of... So that these can keep happening, these conflicts can keep happening. You know what I mean? Because first you kill Saddam Hussein, and then you think, okay, well that's the end. No, Osama bin Laden, and then ISIS, and then ISIL, and ice cream, and ice blah. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well if it's not going to end back here, what makes you think it's going to end up here? So and there is obviously many conspiracies out there that ISIS was created by the Americans. All terror cells were created by the Americans. Blah 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 blah. But that's for a different day.
It is. So, unfortunately, we know black flags exist. They've been admitted to in history.
False flags.
False flags.
Black flags. Black flags do exist. They're on pirate ships sometimes.
False flags.
False flags. Yes.
Do exist. They've been admitted to by numerous governments and government agencies.
And probably not just on the grand scale. There's probably when you look in your newspaper, I bet you could probably find something that's on a smaller scale, something like that. I've never really dug into look because I don't read the newspaper.
No, and that's the thing. It is what it's used for. That's what we have to be wary of.
It's to, hey, look over here. Sorry, my hand was off the camera. Look over here when something over here is happening. Yeah. It's really causing the problem. It's a, hey, look, hey, wham! That's what it is in a sense, right?
Yeah, it's a sucker punch. Yep.
It's like...
So, I just wanted to bring it up. Again, I'll try to remember to leave the link to the video below.
It's very interesting to think about stuff like that. It's very interesting. It makes your mind go.
It does, unfortunately. Yeah. And my biggest thing has always been against 9/11 is, why would the government kill 3,000 people when they could have easily have just had a minor terror attack like they had in France, the Paris one, and had almost they would have had that in the U.S. They would have had the exact same reaction.
I don't think so, but I think the government honestly has an acceptable loss of life plan on file for any type of event.
I'm sorry, but that is it is an unfortunate reality of life in war. There's an acceptable loss of life, and there's even in the Geneva Convention, it says civilian casualties are going to happen. So, there you go. We're just meat for the grinder.
That's right. We are just nothing. It doesn't matter. When push comes to shove and The Walking Dead happens in real life,
that's when we'll mean something.
That's right. We're nothing. All right, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Other than that, guys, have a good week. If there's anything you want us to talk about, shoot us a message down here, or on our Facebook page, or on our Twitter. There's all links down here. If there's anything interesting out there happening, just let us know, and we'll talk about it. Because that's what we do.
Yeah, we give our 2 cents worth it.
That's right, and that's all it is. It's 2 cents, 2 pennies. Pennies don't even exist in Canada anymore, so maybe our opinion is worthless. So actually, you know what? No, we're worth a nickel now.
Yeah, woo, nickel. We'll give our nickels worth.
That's right, we'll give our nickels worth. Guys, thanks a lot.
See ya.